that's the way it would be determined. And that's not the final challenge. You know, from there is the Court of Appeals, and ultimately land up somewhere else. I'm at your disposal. If you guys decide that that's the route that you want to take, I mean, do it. But I think there's an awful lot of energy and time spent on asking people for their opinions, and frankly, I'm not too beholden to any county attorney, including my own, which tells me that that's the law, because the law is going to be determined by a person in a black robe, not a tie.
Did you say you talked to someone?
Well, it took me 11 days of calling every working day,
Sounds right.
and I finally got this woman, this Miss Harry, to call me back. And basically, as nicely as I could put it, I asked her why this was written in such a circle that it wasn't crystal clear. I agree with the beginning, and I agree with the end. What I've read in the book, I agree with what she says here. I'm lost on her second position acts as a forfeiture of her role. Okay. She did nothing wrong, and the way it was explained to me, she did nothing wrong, but when she took the oath of office the second time,
Criminally, right?
That-
She didn't do anything criminally.
criminally,
Not she didn't do anything wrong, criminally.
and taking the second role, nothing wrong with it. But it forfeits the first, is the way she's explained it to me. And pretty much the same thing that Alex just said. If you want to get an end, it's gonna have to go to court. So that's the information I have to share tonight on this,
So,
is
so Todd, a point of clarification, you talked to the author of that letter,
correct.
and her point was it was legal to, I'm trying to understand, it was legal to accept or give yourself the ABC administrator's job, but in her opinion, that forfeited the mayor's position.
And
That was her professional
email
opinion
on
in
that?
writing that letter.
Do you have an email on that to verify? That so far it's hearsay. So do you have an email?
I talked to her on the phone.
Do you have an email?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Can we call
Well, the
this?
one thing that worries me that could possibly happen since
Oh,
this,
oh, oh. You have not talked to the lady why she would take that.
You know, and Joe, as I mentioned, I really couldn't care less why she take it. And I mean, that's with all due respect to the office she holds, which is that of a county attorney. The bottom line is she has no ability to make the mayor of this city, or for that matter, any city, step down, nor be removed.
I'm not saying that, I'm
So,
saying, but
The-
to
the-
find it, before we could go to the step of court.
You mean the logic as to how?
Yeah, the,
I can see the logic. She read the statutes differently, or interpret the statute to mean you can't wear two hats. The issue is whether or not accepting a role as the administrator is equivalent to wearing two hats. And that's a determination that is not clearly been contemplated, at least by cases from the past. There's an attorney general position that talks about specifically, and I don't remember it offhand, I had it in my notes at the office, but there's an attorney general opinion either from the 50s or 60s, which I indicated, which talked about whether the administrator, the ABC administrator, could be in a dual role as an elected, be an elected official and be the ABC administrator. And the conflict there is the ABC administrator doing anything that would be self-dealing, like if they owned a liquor shop or a bar. That's the context. It's not the context of a situation where we have our current mayor. But like before, if you all, I said this to you months ago, if there's an issue that needs to be dealt with from a matter of controversy, just tee it up.
so you don't think the oath of taking two oaths, of raising your hand saying you haven't followed rules and this and that twice, taking two oaths, you don't think that's an issue?
I don't. I think it's the issue is the context in which the position is held. You can't be a council member, and there's a bunch of things you can't do, right, together. You can't be a council member and a sheriff. You can't have all these different appointments to different positions where you'll be elected or whatever the case is. So I don't think it's in conflict, because it's not in conflict. There are mayors that are ABC administrators all the time. It's the issue is did that language of taking an oath, in theory, preclude her from accepting that role? They're not mutually incompatible. And that's where the county attorney from Henry County, I'm gonna make sure when I see her at the annual prosecutors meeting, which I've never met her, is to say, where'd you get that? Just because as a lawyer, I'm curious. As a fellow county attorney, I'm curious. So for what it's worth, I mean, I think that the issue is just ask for a declaration of act from your local circuit judge.
What could happen, Alex, I'm sorry, Jim, what could happen, Alex, if Ms. Pat makes the decisions and we go on down and she makes decisions as acting as she's in the mayor, not the ABC administrator or whatever, what legally can be done? What could backfire into our
Great question.
faces if something happened?
It's a great question. It's one legally, I guess, that I would have to ponder, but the reality is that what does the fact, if in fact she should be vacating her spot, what effect does that have on any course of action? And the answer is, I would argue that until she's either A, removed or impeached, she's still the mayor. You're still a mayor, even when you've been indicted by a court of law as a
But
crime.
Alex, she put on her Facebook page that she was the former mayor of Crittenden.
I don't know what you're talking
I'm not a
about.
It's
Facebook.
printed out, it's okay.
So
It's
you're
printed out.
I'm glad.
there's a backlog
Glad
of
you
bad
live a life
contracts
other
and
than
things like that.
No, I'm not worried about that.
That's the big, that's another question.
Well, and the thing about it is, let's work on getting the zoning change, let's work on the beautification committee, the bicentennial, the city ordinances, the public works. You guys keep hitting a brick wall because you're trying to get the mayor in trouble or impeached. Move on. Do you have not a life at home that you try to cause havoc for someone else's life? I didn't,
My concern,
and Joe, you made a statement out in public that if I'm not in jail in 6 months, you're gonna put counsel.
I did not.
Go ahead and do
No,
that. Go
you're
ahead.
lying.
You did that, you showed yourself at Pizza Pro and acted unprofessional
No,
and,
Agreed.
yes.
I did
It's
not.
okay.
Yeah.
I never
We
said
have
that.
somebody that called and told me that and was appalled about how you acted. Now, Paula, you go up to the podium and read your letter before you go.
Hang on, I forgot a page.
Love you, Joe.
I'd like to say the reason that social media was brought up tonight was because of what I put on Facebook about Todd Roberts, which we all know what that is, because he was good enough to leave it on his Facebook page. It bothered him so bad for weeks, along with my picture. So I'm going to assume the reason it was brought up
Hold on, Paula. We're gonna show some respect on this side, if you don't mind, and let her speak. You've had your, what you had to say tonight, now it's her turn. Have some respect. Yes, you are. You're in up for me. I wanna hear what she's gotta say.
I'm going to assume the reason it was brought up is because Todd Roberts wants a public apology, and that's not going to happen. I apologized on Facebook, that's as good as it gets. That's where I made my post, that's where I apologized, deal with it.
I expect nothing more, nothing less.
Please allow me to explain. When I was younger, I was abused. In my 20s, I had a nervous breakdown and a stroke. The only council member that knew that was Jennifer Thurman Humphrey, which I believe she shared with Todd Roberts.
No, I did not.
Now, I'm going to say this, and you all pay very close attention. I am so upset with all of you. How could you do this?
I never did that, Paula. You just said that now. I've never said a word of that to anybody, to a
Todd
single
Roberts
girl.
went on his campaign trail, house to house, telling people how crazy I was and other negative things about me, house to house. Now, I'm going to say this to you all. I know you did it because I've got written statements from some of the people.
I'd like to see those.
Well, you will in
I
court.
would like to, come on with it.
Tom, let her talk.
Todd,
Let her talk. Let her talk. It's her time.
It hurt my feelings. Don't you care, people? What happened? The ugly and the revenge. What happened? Because I'm gonna tell you something, even though I'm mad at you right now, if she was to stop or get in an accident with those kids, I'd be the first one to pull the car over to help her. Or you, or you, or you, Danny Martin, or you, Joe, or you, Arlene. I'd help you too. But what I'm getting at is, this has become ugly. I mean, we don't work together. You sit and you can condescend and shitty attitudes, just shitty attitudes. Come on, people, we're better than this. We are here to move this city forward, and that's what it should be. We aren't here to petty fight over Facebook posts, which, Todd, you post a lot of. Negative stuff about the city, which was not only on your Crittenden Neighborhood Watch Facebook page the day of the election, but also on Jennifer's. I mean, what are we doing here, guys? What are we doing here? Don't you care? I'm the same person that 3 months ago we sat down and had dinner together. I'm the same person that you hugged when I was dying 6 months ago. That you helped in the shower. That you brought me soup. Come on, guys. That's all I fucking gotta say, and I hope you're happy.
Paula, you said you made an apology. Who did you apologize to about that Facebook?
I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
I second.
Have a good
People
night.
who want to stay here and talk are
Happy
more than welcome to
Thanksgiving.
stay here and talk. Anybody who wants to stay here and talk is more than welcome to stay here and
Have
talk.
a special meeting if you do.
So Ms. Knight, you will find out when
I'm the mayor.
okay, you will find out when
As
the
much as you want her to
beautification,
be the mayor, I'm still the mayor.
when, you're gonna put out a note when the bicentennial
You
meeting
can call
is?
Chamber of Commerce and find out for yourself. I don't work for you, I work for the city.
Hey, did you all know that eggs come from chickens? Did you know that? Well, I've given eggs to people on council before.